Hey there, everybody. So I'm back. Hey there, everybody. Hey there, everybody. So I'm back. So I'm back, and I saw 4 movies this week, and I'll try to get through them as fast as I can. So first off, Thor has a lot of great, interesting visuals. It's definitely one of those great spectacle films. You definitely have to see on the big screen. They have a lot of great like scientific and mythological kind of integration, and it really worked out throughout the whole film, and I totally enjoyed it. Thor was a really like kind of unknown character, at least for me, and this really helped me figure out who he was and get me involved in his background, and I really enjoyed that. A lot of fun jokes, but sometimes the humor feels a lot really unneeded, and I'm not too interested in it, and I just you get kind of lost, and it's if they had cut back on it, it would have been a much more compelling film, and it would have probably worked out a little better. Sometimes the story gets to be a little predictable and kind of unadventurous, and they kind of just go through the paces of things, and I think this is really mainly just because they want to kind of throw this movie out and get to their Avengers film in the next couple of years, which is kind of disappointing because they did the same thing in Iron Man 2, and I wasn't too psyched about that. So um, I'd feel a lot better if they were just like kind of taking their time, giving you good, likable films, and not kind of just throwing out these characters and making them just be there for their Avengers flick and in the next couple years. But um, otherwise, it's a fun movie. It's definitely worth checking out, and um, it's just a really interesting summer film. So Chris Hemsworth definitely does a stunning job in this. He's a really entertaining character throughout the entire film, but a lot of the other acting is pretty medium and not very great, and it could have just been a lot better if they had worked on their character angles a little more and just made those a little more compelling. So definitely go check this movie out in theaters. 3D is okay. Um, I would I would go see it in 3D just because of the spectacle behind the world of Asgard and all of those great visuals you're gonna be seeing. So it's definitely worth it. Go check it out on the big screen, and if you can't, rent it whenever you can. So Bridesmaids, this movie has a load of laughs. Um, you'll be entertained the entire time. There are always fresh jokes, and because of the whole thing with the trailer not having not really having any of the things that were actually in the movie, you're always guessing about what's coming, and you're not really sure of uh, you're not really bored at any point, and the movie just keeps going and going, and you're always having fun. The character chemistry in this movie is absolutely incredible, and I'm I was really impressed by John Hamm and the character who played Megan. I hadn't seen her before. She was absolutely incredible in this role. John Hamm was funny the entire time, every time he was on screen. Um, I haven't seen too much of his work, but I knew a little more about him, and I'd seen more of his stuff, so I definitely enjoyed him in this movie, and this goes for all the other characters too. For most of the other characters too, I hadn't seen most of them do a lot, and they really all did a great job, and were hilarious through the entire thing. This movie did feel a little dragged on at times, and there were points where it was just getting a uh, little long. It's a pretty long movie. It's about 2 hour. It's pretty much a 2 hour movie, and that's pretty long for a comedy. Sometimes it's just better to be a little short on the shorter side, but it's a but I was pretty much entertained even though it dragged on a little bit because there were so many fun jokes, and you were pretty much always having a good time. My biggest problem with this movie was that I wasn't really blown away by Christian Wake's character, who's the main character of the movie. She just really didn't stand out that much. I really just wanted to see. I I know she does a lot of SNL work, and she's good in those shorter doses, but she really just didn't seem to be able to handle the extent of this long movie and just having to keep the pace of a compelling and interesting character. So, other than that, it's a really fun film. Go check it out, and definitely rent it if you don't get a chance to see it in theaters. So, Priest, I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. It felt way too rushed. It really just seemed like they wanted to throw this movie out and get to a sequel, which I didn't really get because this wasn't a very good movie at all. The characters were pretty boring. The story was really bizarre, and I didn't really get interested in it at all because they were just rushing through and getting to saving this girl, and that was the whole point of this film. They didn't really have anything else than that, except a little bit of like an animated background scene, which besides that there was nothing to give me any information about any of the characters. So in that sense, I really just didn't like this movie. But there were a few interesting visuals. I mean, like the city landscapes they created were kind of interesting, but besides that, this really just isn't worth checking out, and I wouldn't recommend it at all. And Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides was actually I actually enjoyed this movie a lot. I'm a huge Pirates fan. I've loved all the previous films, and this one was just the same. It really brought back all of the characters I love: Captain Jack, Barbossa, and even though they got rid of a whole bunch of characters that we've loved for years, they integrated so many new, fresh faces that were so interesting and fit so well into the mood of these movies that um, I wasn't disappointed at all. I like Penelope Cruz and Ian McShane. They were all very good in this movie, and um, I can't wait to see them again in any of the other films that they plan on doing. So that was definitely a plus. The 3D in this movie was completely pointless. I wouldn't see this in 3D. I did, but definitely not worth it at all. There's like 3 times when they have something that's actually like noticeably 3D, but other than that, not worth it at all. There's like no reason this should have been made into a 3D movie. As with all the other films, this has a very intriguing story. You're always kind of guessing on what's gonna happen next, and because they just include so many different uh, different elements, like the zombie things, mermaids, Fountain of Youth, Blackbeard. There's just so many things that they just weave in together, and just makes it a really interesting film, and keeps the story very well paced through the entire movie, and you're just you're never really like bored or uninterested at any point, and that's the great thing about these movies, because they always keep your interest, and they definitely did for this movie too. So it's definitely worth checking out in theaters. It's an absolutely fantastic summer movie, and if you're a Pirates fan like myself, you'll love to see this installment, and I'm sure you'll want to see the next one very soon. So that's it for this episode. As always, you can subscribe up top and leave a comment down below for the question of the day, which will be at the end of the video. Leave a video response. Then you can like this video and give it a thumbs up. So let's see you guys next week with a new episode and a bunch of new reviews. I hope you guys like this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. And today's question of the day is, what is your favorite pirate movie? Can I resist? You cannot resist. You cannot resist. Yeah.